Hey guys, a lot has happened in the last 2 weeks, and so I'm going to try to get through this as fast as I can. All right, so my husband's experience with masks and the TSA when he went flying this last week. If you go flying and you want to wear an N95 mask, or any kind of mask, I guess, but it's probably going to be an N95, I highly suggest you take it out of the package and put it in a plastic bag, because when he went on his trip to New York, he had to take it off. 2 TSA agents thumbed it up really good with whatever germs were on their hands, stuck it in the ick tray so it could be x-rayed, and then a wheelchair grandma picked it up and played with it a bit and then dropped it on the floor. Needless to say, he didn't wear it after that, and I wasn't too happy when I heard about it. So, yeah, okay. That's pretty much self-explanatory. Bring a baggie, but you're still gonna wind up being exposed because you have to take the mask off. And I think 2 LAX employees tested positive for the virus, so at your own risk. Okay, so in the last 2 weeks, they still haven't used the word pandemic, but I personally feel like this virus is literally everywhere that people are. It just hasn't been tested enough. I think we're going to see a bigger increase in the numbers of people that test positive for it, but it shouldn't surprise you. I just have this feeling, especially from all the interviews I've seen of people talking about it, that this virus has probably been here for a few months. So that being said, in some places it has a pretty high mortality rate. So to avoid it and to avoid getting the worst of it, you want to do a couple things. One, you want to self-isolate enough so where you're not exposed to it. And 2, if you are exposed to it, you want to not have an immune system that is so hyped up that you give yourself pneumonia, which that's kind of what's happening to anywhere from 1 to 4% of people. The mortality rate is pretty bad, and it's because this virus is so inflammatory in lung tissue. The immune response it's causing pneumonia. So okay, and I think personally that it wouldn't be surprising that in the next 12 or 18 months we get these sort of on and off rounds of government regulated, restricted contact. Like, maybe every so often they're going to close schools because there's more cases than normal, or not. I hope not, but we'll see. It's a possibility. Okay, so I've got a bunch of stuff here that I want to get to quickly. Alrighty. One thing I've done too is that I had, since September, an extra small fridge. I'll spare you the story of trying to get the rental fridge here repaired. It was a clown show. We wound up getting a Whirlpool 17 cubic foot dedicated fridge, so there was no freezer on that. It's worked out great. We can get extra stuff, and we love it. And you want to have extra fridge space if you're going to be staying at home more, and you need to buy in bulk. And today from Lowe's, I bought a chest freezer, and I'm really excited to get it. It was on sale, like 20% off. They do free delivery. Thank you, Lowe's. And this video is not sponsored by anybody. You do have to pay tax, but the shipping's free, and it was less for a 15 cubic chest freezer that we're going to keep in the garage. It was less than $500 with tax and free delivery, so I'm really happy about that. And they still have some, I think, the smaller ones, definitely the bigger ones, on discount. So if that's something you're thinking about, I highly recommend it. I think that it's going to come in really handy when I do my like alternative pastas, gluten-free pastas, and I want to make, say, a bigger batch in my Instant Pot, and I want to freeze some of it. I think that'll be good. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll let you know. Okay, so Let me see here. All right, now ordering food online, because maybe you don't want to go out so much. Maybe you don't want to go out and touch the shopping cart or be in an area where people are coughing on the food. I'd rather have like one point of contact for my food instead of it being, you know, coughed on by whoever or fingered by whoever. I'd rather have just like one point of contact that puts it in my box or puts it in a bag for me and then sends it to my house. So Whole Foods will give you in-store case discounts if you're still going out. Prime Fresh is back. I was an Amazon Fresh member a couple years ago, and I got the invite to be Prime Fresh, and so I think I'm going to try that out and see if that's going to fit into my lifestyle. I've gotten food from Target along with medicine. I've gotten vitamins and food from iHerb, and of course Amazon.com. And there are a couple other specialty spots that I've gone to that I will share. Okay, so let's talk about vitamins real quick. India made news on Tuesday. They're going to be restricting some of their antibiotics and some of their B vitamins. They're not going to completely cut the world off, I think, but they are going to restrict. They want to make sure they have enough for their own people, and given the history of how much worse they suffered through the 1918 pandemic, it makes sense for them that they would do that. It doesn't help us, but it does make sense. So B12, B1, and another one of the B vitamins are the B vitamins they're restricting. This is important for vegans especially. I don't know how this is going to affect worldwide B12 availability. It may just be a blip. It may not be a big deal at all. But, you know, I'm not going to wait and see. I do have some of these from Kirkman Labs, and I'm going to get more. This is the kind I get for my daughter. It's a micro amount of a good quality B12 with a folinic acid version of, the folate. And I want to make sure I get some extra. This one is shelf stable and good for like 2 more years. So I'm probably going to pick up an extra bottle or 2. And it wouldn't hurt to have it on the shelf. If you know you're going to need something, pick up a couple of extra bottles. Let's see here. Some of the medicines that I've gotten that have helped with like at least cold viruses. I'm not saying it's going to help against COVID-19, but Chestol from Boiron, get it at Whole Foods. Sambucus, I believe I got this from iHerb. You can get it as, I got it from iHerb, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, and I think they have this also at Whole Foods. And so these are good. These are good for viruses. More pharmaceuticals that I don't want to run out of, so I make sure I have them. And sometimes you need them. The Sudafed, you have to swipe your ID for. I got that. Allegra is really good if you have an allergic response. And Afrin, you can only use this for like 3 days, but if you need it, you really need it, and you know it. So that's what I've got. Also, one other thing here that I want to talk about, not having your body go into a hyper immune response. I'm currently reading up on quercetin and pro-resolving mediators. There's not much information. There's really not. And I'm asking some experts, and I've yet to get some answers. But there are these pro-resolving mediators that come from omega-3s, and their job is to stop inflammation. The inflammation process is important, but it needs to end at a certain point, or it can cause things like pneumonia. So I don't know how well my body can metabolite, but I've upped I used to be more heavy DHA, but now I'm like kind of even EPA and DHA. And Nordic Naturals makes a really good product. Okay. Plant Paradox, no lectins. That's really great for reducing your autoimmune issues. I know for myself personally, going gluten-free has reduced my Hashimoto's and my need for thyroid medication. And so I would highly suggest, if you have an autoimmune disorder, go gluten-free. Talk to your doctor, but it's been great for me. I really recommend it. Some of the alternative pastas that I make in my Instant Pot, I like this a lot. I buy this off of Amazon. They don't carry it anymore in Ralph's. I used to get it. This one, chickpea shells. Whole Foods, get a case discount on that. These are $2.99 each, and if you get the discount, it's 10%. It's $12 per case. Tolerant is a little bit more. They do lentil and chickpea pasta. This is $3.99. You know, again, it's a nice alternative. I've had it. It's good. Stay away from peanuts and cashews. If you like nuts, go for good quality macadamia. And the Barukas, these are great. There's like every amino acid, and they're pretty tasty. I like them a lot. I'll get these off of Amazon. All right, I get this rice. I get it off of Amazon, and it's been a good heirloom rice, and you know, they Whole Foods currently is out of their 365 organic brand because of something about the packaging. They haven't had it in months, so this is the one I've gotten, and you can get it online. And let's see here. Get that. Did I read off some of the places I get my stuff online from? I think I did. Okay. Anyway, I think I did. Yeah, I did. Too much sugar is inflammatory. This is the only sugar substitute, and it's a real food. It's a sweet fiber, basically. Agave inulin. I get it from Z Natural Foods, and I really like it. It cuts my sweet tooth need in half. I do maple sugar in this stuff in my coffee in the morning, along with cocoa powder because I love it. And okay, you don't want to be without iodized sea salt, in my opinion. Talk to your doctor. It's in store now, but at the time, I couldn't find it in store when I wanted to get it months and months ago. It was just kind of not on the shelves. So I got it from a place called Stock Up Express. If you spend $80 at Stock Up Express, and they have a lot of food there, you get free shipping. If you don't, it's like $8. But anyway, so if you're looking for iodized sea salt and you can't find it anywhere, StockUpExpress.com has it. And last two places, this is my favorite sauerkraut. I love this stuff. I found it at Gelson's. The only place they have it online that I found it was called foodservicedirect.com. It was a little difficult to order from it, I'm not gonna lie. It's something about it was just, I used PayPal. It wasn't that bad, obviously I got my stuff. It was $25 to ship like 18 jars of this stuff. The Cooks also does a beet sauerkraut, which is also good. And but that's kind of what it costs if you're gonna ship heavy glass jars across the country. I also like mother-in-law's kimchi, and I got like 12 jars of that, and it was $25 for shipping. So that's just kind of what it costs. Anyway, so this has been my sort of 2-week update, and I hope it's helped. But basically, think about if you have to stay home more, you know, how are you going to get your food delivered? There are different places to try. Start trying them now, and see what you can buy where. And I think you'll be surprised that you can get a lot of your needs delivered to you, which is what's happening. And if that's the thing, also Target and Amazon, I've been able to get my cleaning, my disinfecting supplies. And I get the 7th generation, and I like that a lot, and Method hand soap and dish soap. So I do 7th generation and Method for those items. Anyway, so that's about it. I hope you guys are doing good, and be safe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.